So this is a video response to where I was when 9/11 happened. Being in Australia, it was close to the middle of the night, somewhere between 11 and 11:30 I think. I was at my partner's house and we had been watching TV and I was just getting ready to go home when a breaking news story came onto the television saying that something had hit the World Trade Center, and pretty much from that moment on we were glued to the set as we watched events as they played out as they did. As to how it affected me, while it was a very tragic event, and I feel for the people that lost their lives in that event and for the people that were affected directly by it, being in a country so far away from the actual event, I don't think you get quite the same feeling or appreciation for the sort of shocking nature of what took place. And I would sort of liken it to perhaps for people in the United States it's sort of like losing a member of the family that sort of has a real direct effect on you, whereas here in Australia, unless you actually sort of knew someone that was working in that building, you're sort of a bit removed from that, and it doesn't quite have the same effect as if you lost an immediate family member. But some other things that I wonder about is that in the anniversary of 9/11, all the focus tends to be on the World Trade Center. However, if I remember rightly, there was at least 2 other planes in that event in which innocent people lost their lives. There was the one that hit the Pentagon, and then there was another plane which failed to reach its target, largely due to the efforts of the people on board, who also unfortunately lost their lives, I think, by sort of forcing their plane to crash before it made its target. And in the aftermath of 9/11 and the sort of wars that have resulted from that in Afghanistan and Iraq, I kind of wonder about the civilians in those countries and whether the people of the United States sort of feel any kind of empathy for those civilians who are perhaps not a direct cause or directly involved with any of the events that happened on 9/11. Just those people are being caught up in things that are kind of beyond their control, in a sense, and they're just ordinary people too, trying to live their lives the same way that the people in the United States were on that particular day, which is something that I sort of think about. But having said that, 9/11 is not something I would wish on anyone. There are positives that came out of it, in that it did, in its own way, unite the people of the United States, and it also united several countries in sort of trying to prevent such a thing from happening again. Whether the course that followed since then is something that you agree with or not, it's probably best thought about for another time, but yeah, 9/11, it was certainly a very shocking event. I sort of feel for the people that were caught up in that and who it affected. Not just the fact that a lot of people died, but a lot of people who survived that, or knew people who were in that building on that day, all the people that sort of came together and sort of helped out and to pick up the pieces and get things moving again. It's something that should probably never be forgotten. So that's my response to it.